Working for BRM, we see an awful lot of exciting product announcements, but I can now confidently say this is the most exciting product announcement I've seen this year and possibly for several years. Andy, what have you got for us?
Well, we couldn't resist this one. We have got Ivor the engine. Many people of many generations have known Ivor the engine on the TV. Of course, it was all that was on the TV in terms of railway content in the early days. A black and white series, colour series. It was revamped by the BBC, came back out in the 90s, used to promote Welsh television. There's been books, and even as late as 2000, last year, 2022-23, a DVD came out of a remastered set. It's always been in the background of people's minds, and it's been one of those things I thought for ages it would make a great model, bringing it from 2D into 3D, and working with Daniel Postgate, the son of one of the two creators, we've got a worldwide license to go forth and produce a range of Ivor the engine models.
Yeah, so you've taken the 2D Ivor. You've spent, this was just an excuse to spend a lot of time watching the TV show, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And even better than that, we've got permission to take stuff directly from the remastered stuff. So we'll talk about later, I'm sure, the cardboard cutout buildings we're going to produce. They've actually been taken and stitched together from the original animation artwork to put together into something we can turn into 3D. And bridging the gap between the 2D and the 3D has been really, really interesting, really, really fun, a bit retro, very much a bit of nostalgia mining for a lot of people, and it's something I'm really excited about.
It is. I'll be honest, I am of the age when I remember watching Ivor the engine on TV, and I'll always quite fancied owning a model of Ivor the engine, and it's going to happen.
Yeah, we can't wait. We're really, really looking forward to it.
And this is the first 3D print of Ivor.
Yep, it's a very rough print. We printed this in-house ourselves just to get an idea of sizes and proportion. Of course, you're taking something from the 2D, you're putting it into the 3D world that's got to look right proportionally to itself and its other items, but also needs to kind of look at home with standard model railway stuff. So, for example, a normal box van. We wanted to make sure that it didn't look out of place when they were together, so that people who kind of wanted to run this as a bit of fun on their layout, we saw an awful lot of people buying tip-filled sets and then running them on very serious exhibition layouts. We kind of want the same fun to be had here, and likewise, you know, with other locomotives in the range. You get an idea how big it is when you compare it to a Y7. It's a little bit shorter, but proportionally not too far different. So we're really excited.
They're not that different in size, actually, are they? But the problem, of course, Ivor is we never saw it with anything else, and you've got interesting issues like it's got a square cab.
Yes, so the loading gauge becomes a bit of a problem. So the square cab, to make sure it will go through people's tunnels and bridges, we've been quite careful. Thankfully, when you look at the cartoons, and you look at some of the stories where they were illustrated in 3D slightly later on, it was quite a narrow engine. So we managed to make it quite narrow, quite tight to the loading gauge in width, which means that you get the maximum over the arch for bridges and stuff to get in under tunnels. It's been a little bit harder for the coach, the coach we're putting into the range. We've designed it so that the roof will be removable, so people who have very restricted loading gauges will be able to run it as an open coach, a bit like an old-fashioned rocket coach as well.
So there is actually going to be not just Ivor, who, let's be honest, I'd buy anyway. There will be DCC sound, won't there?
There will. So there are going to be two packs.
Right.
The first pack is the Ivor the engine train pack. So there will be Ivor the engine, and there will also be two of the open wagons, which have the corner doors, and that you saw sheep in various episodes. So we called them sheep wagons. They'll be used for other things as well. So there'll be two of those in the pack. There'll be a loco and two wagons. There will also be a rather splendid box that we quite like. Again, all very in keeping. You might have seen our tip-filled boxes. We wanted to make something really special. When you open that up, you're going to be greeted with not just a model, there'll be our usual slightly humorous manual, we hope. There will also be some cardboard punch-out buildings, which we've stuck together. So there'll be, in the Ivor the train pack, there'll be an engine shed, which will have both interior and external bits. So this is a mock-up of the interior.
Mock-up and the first insert looking at the inside of the engine shed.
Yep, so couldn't resist having some fun with that. There'll also be some 2D characters. So there'll be Jones the Steam, Die Station, and of course we can't miss Idris the Dragon, plus a few sheep in the train pack. There will be a DCC sound version. That will have all the stuff taken from the original animation, to all permission to do that. So yes, the chuff rates will not be synchronised. I'm very proud of this. Like not having a firebox glow in the Fireless, we won't be having synchronised chuffs, but you will get plenty of psh to cop for your money, which we can't wait. There will be the Choral Society will be on there, loads of fun things. The sound file is already in progress. We're very lucky to have a guy called Guion helping us with that one. We started it some time ago. That's really, really exciting. The engine itself has a firebox door that's opened, and inside it will have a glowing dragon's egg as well. So the model will be really, really good. And then to finish it all off, possibly one of my favourite bits, Daniel Postgate, who is the son of Oliver Postgate, is writing us a brand new Ivor story. So the only way to get hold of a new story will be to buy one of the train pack sets. On top of that, there's then going to be a second pack. There's going to be a rolling stock pack. So there'll be a coach. These have been a little bit generic. As you can imagine, even in the same episode, the things like coaches and rolling stock change. You had inside and outside axle boxes. It was all drawn by non-railway people. So we've had to make some compromises and some artistic license, but there'll be a coach in each pack. There will also be a coal hopper, which we quite like for going to Grumbly Gasworks. And there will also be a one plank wagon. Again, this will have a couple of crates on the top of it as a load that will be removable as well. So there'll be 3 different wagons available, a coach and Ivor. So that'll be really good fun. And then again, we'll do some more fold-up buildings. There'll be a fold-up station and a little bit of platform and a couple more people. So again, there'll be Mrs. Porty, there'll be the choir master, the choir, other bits that go to make it quintessentially Ivor. It's an excuse to have a lot of fun.
It's great fun, and I've got to be honest, looking at it, it's got the look, which must have been very, very challenging. How long did it take you guys to capture that look?
Not as long as we thought, mainly because we were very, very lucky. We've got some very, very talented people that work here. So the CAD for all of this was designed in the UK, blissfully done by one of our youngsters called Jamie, who spent lots of time looking at the cartoon. But we work very much as a team collaboratively. So as the design went forward, we would look at it and come back and say, actually, that needs to be a bit wider, a bit longer. You have to kind of get the basics right, then you have to start adding the detail onto it. We have, for example, on the side of the running boards, it was obviously just drawn on detail. We've actually extrapolated that to be 3D. If you just make everything dead flat, it looks a bit too basic. So we've had to keep some areas flat to keep it true to the cartoons, but then we've had to add some detail to other areas to sort of increase things. You know, we've added springs on the wagons and stuff like that. That it's bridging the world. A very good term would be, slightly ironically, inspired by. It's got to be close enough that people go, wow, I know what that is. But if you followed it completely accurately, things wouldn't be quite right. So we've done our best to make it look right. We've had to make sure it fits in with traditional 00 stuff. It has to work well, and it needs to fit in people's loading gauges. So there's quite a lot of balance to get something right.
But the important thing is that you can actually run. You're going to be able to run it on your own layout.
Absolutely.
Right?
So run with all your model railway stuff. You can get the grandkids around and explain part of the youth, of your youth back, and say, you know, this is what I used to see and grew up with. You know, it's nostalgia mining on a great scale, and we hope people are going to sort of really embrace it.
Right, I'm definitely looking forward to it. But in the meantime, I'm going to catch up with my prototype research now, just to make sure you got everything right. Thanks, Andy.
Come on, Ivor.